guys, today we got Nike fully doing pre-orders now. We got more Adidas Pharrell Jellyfish coming very soon. Why is everyone saying sneakers are dead next year? Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. What a weekend. There was some crazy releases. First one I'm very upset about. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh! Nikes. Now, I'm not upset that I got an L because I actually completely missed the release. I don't know why, but on Friday when they dropped, I just thought that they were dropping on Saturday, so I didn't even go onto the Nike Sneakers app, so I didn't even enter the raffle. It's a tough one because I really did want this pair of shoes, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you managed to get a W. It seems like they were very limited, so if you picked up a pair, congrats. Of course, we had the Fire Red 5s drop on Saturday. There's still a decent amount of pairs left, not just on Nike's website, but there's a bunch of different retailers that are selling them. Safe to say that these are sitting. Let me know if you picked a pair up. And then the next one that dropped, but it's also upcoming, is the Nike Tom Sachs Mars Yard 3.0. So this release is actually pretty complicated. So as we know, one of the ways that these were going to drop was through the ISRU program, which was I guess a kind of a challenge thing that Tom Sachs was doing with Nike, where people would enter a summer camp. They would complete little challenges and tasks in order to gain points and go higher up on the leaderboard, and the people at the top would get the pair of shoes. And when I say get the pair of shoes, I mean spend almost $300. So just get the opportunity to buy this pair of shoes. Here's where things get interesting, because Tom Sachs actually posted a video with Nike, and he was basically saying that there's people who are at the top who are going to get the shoe. However, everybody else will also get the opportunity to pre-order this sneaker.
We did not make enough shoes for what ISRU ultimately demands. But we see you, and as a result of your efforts, we're making more shoes.
Generally speaking, they don't really disclose how many people at the top are getting linked, but this is the email that people should have got if they were kind of at the top of the leaderboard, or I don't know, however many pairs that they made. But essentially, yes, there's going to be pre-orders, which means everybody, or for the most part, most people who were part of this camp thing that they had to do, they're going to get links and they can pre-order the shoes, which will be shipped in 2026. Interestingly, there's also going to be a bunch of different retailers globally that are going to be releasing this pair of shoes on the 19th of September. Here's a little list for each different region. We got Europe with a bunch of stores, Greater China, Asia Pacific, and North America. Not too many for the US, which is pretty crazy. Still, you are not escaping the point system from the ISRU summer camp thing, because you will still need to show your ISRU ID in the app as proof of participation. So retailers are still enforcing points to buy this pair of shoes. So at the end of the day, that was your way of getting them. Even though looks like there's a ton of pairs, and not only retailers are getting it, but they're doing pre-orders. A ton of people will get this, but you still had to have participated in this whole camp thing. Honestly, I wish they just made it a little bit more clear, as like, you know, from the beginning they said, you know, this is the only way that you're going to get this pair of shoes, because I do believe there was a decent amount of people who were maybe under the impression that there was going to be a sneakers app release or another way of getting the pair of shoes if you didn't want to do the whole camp thing. You let me know what you think down in the comment section. Did you partake in the ISRU camp, or were you waiting for a sneakers app release? Right, quick reminder of some releases that are right around the corner. First up, we got the Nike sneakers app, which have loaded up two very highly anticipated pairs of sneakers for the month of September. First one, on the 20th, we've got the Air Jordan 3L Vuelo. These haven't loaded up for the EU just yet, so fingers crossed, because I think this is a dope pair of shoes. And then on the 27th of September, we're getting the Tokyo 5s, which is also highly anticipated. On the 20th of September, just a little reminder, we're getting the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low for anybody who didn't know. Now, we won't know how this is going to release until a lot closer to the time. Like, as of right now, it's still supposed to be just a Travis Scott website exclusive. We don't know if it's going to get a sneakers app release, but I will keep you guys up to date. As soon as we get any more information on a specific time or how they're doing it, I'll let you know. Anyone who bought the iPhone 17, well, you can now drip that thing out in some Crocs. Quite literally, Crocs has created phone cases for the iPhone 17. Now, they're also doing it for the Pro Max and the Pro and even the Air. Or maybe not the Air. I don't see that over here. Either way, there is Crocs iPhone cases. I could just imagine these being so popular as well, especially because you can get gibbets on them. This one kind of came out of nowhere, but Jordan Brand is releasing the Trunner, the Trunner OS, this retro runner style shoe, which does have a lot of people excited, including myself. I mean, $115 for a pair of shoes that looks pretty decent and very comfortable, I'm at least interested. These are going to be dropping September the 22nd just through or exclusively through Concepts as of just this colorway. I think there's also one other one, this one over here. I think they're calling this Magic Hour or something like that. So this one's actually saying September 17th exclusively through neighborhood account. Maybe the release dates are split, 22nd and 17th, but that is all the information we have on these first two exclusive colorways. But honestly, I wouldn't worry about these because Jordan Brand is going to be dropping a ton more. And this is all going to be taking place in October. So I think most of these colorways drop October the 1st. So we got like this all over red pair. Personally, not one for me. Maybe they're going to do a re-release of this one and the exclusive launch is just at the beginning, but this is also supposed to be the Concepts exclusive. This blue one's very, very nice. I like this colorway. Then we got the pink one. We've seen a bunch of images of this one as well. The gray one, solid option. I mean, it looks decent, very wearable. And then there's some other ones like a sail colorway, black hat and stuff like that. Either way, if you're after any of these, don't worry about the exclusive ones unless you really do want to try this pair of shoes out ASAP, but there should be a bunch dropping this full time starting October 1st. This one's pretty cool. Literally next month, we are going to be getting at least one or two new colorways of the Pharrell Virginia Adistar Jellyfish. Let's just call him the Jellyfish sneaker at this point. I think that's a much better name, but yes, we've got two different colorways. This green one, which is really nice, but then also a more wearable gray pair. It is pretty crazy because I honestly did not expect the orange ones to be reselling for as much as they are. Like, I understood, you know, they're gonna go above retail because they were so limited, but I thought, you know, maybe $400, $500 tops. These things are reselling for like $1,000, at least the first one. Now these two, hopefully they make them a little bit more available because I would love to get my hands on either of these two. There's no way I'm spending resale on the first one. No matter how much I like this pair of shoes and I really, really want them, there's no way I'm spending $1,000 on these things. 300 is painful enough. Either way, these are the official images for the green pair. Arguably, I don't think this is better than the orange one in terms of colorway, but it's not bad. I think if I had to pick between this one and the gray one, I'm taking the gray one. I think it's just a lot more wearable. As far as the release date, this is just this holiday season, but I'm pretty sure I've seen dates for October. So as soon as we get an exact date and an update, I'll let you guys know, but these are official images, so expect these very soon. And let me know, out of the green and the gray, which one would you prefer? Now, speaking of new models, this one's really exciting. Nike is dropping a mattress for your feet. So this is the Comfort Ride Easy On. So not only is it like a slip-on type shoe, but it's also like insane in terms of cushioning. Like, look at this stack. They're calling it mattress-like, I assume because of like the spring looking things going on. It's a very interesting move because these look very similar to like the Vomero Plus or even the Vomero Premium. Like, this stack of foam is insane. It is super, super thick. Now this is obviously positioned as like a comfy shoe, so I'm assuming like a daily walker type lifestyle sneaker. It's $130, which is good, so it's hard to say how comfortable these things are going to be. They look comfortable, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, these are going to be dropping very soon. Holiday season, which means October to December. If we get an update, I'll let you know. Jordan Brand putting out another haymaker. So they've got the Trunner, obviously is like their new lifestyle sneaker, but take a look at these things. They completely made the Air Jordan 1 Low an absolute beast. They ACG'd the hell out of these things. So there's a bunch of different colorways. They made them way more durable in terms of the materials. Like, look at the upper. This is some kind of, I don't know, weatherized, almost waterproof looking fabric on the upper. The outsole that they threw on here, it looks the same as the ACG Mountain Fly, so like super trail version, tons of grip. Honestly, they look kind of cool. So these should be dropping on October the 1st as well. It's huge full season for Jordan Brand and Nike. They're dropping a bunch of new models, which is pretty exciting. I think people are kind of into these. Now, it's not a budget weird spin-off shoe. These are $200, so it will be a premium product. And I think the way that they design these is really awesome. Like, look at the outsole, like how you can kind of see the original traction pattern of the Jordan 1, but then it's kind of like rocks of traction kind of covering it up. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. We just got official images of Ja Morant Nike Air Force One, the NY versus NY. This is it over here. This one honestly came a little bit out of nowhere. Like, I feel like we just saw speculative mock-ups and now we suddenly have official images, so these must be dropping pretty soon. Again, this is just a full 2025 drop, but here you go. It's honestly looking pretty plain, if you ask me. It's just all over black suede with a gum outsole, rope style laces. It does look premium, but yeah, not too much to this one. Another holiday release, we just got our first looks at the Nike SB Dunk Low Premium Krampus, which is coming with a matching t-shirt. Now, I believe we did see this pair of shoes before, so I don't think this is the first look, but this is the Krampus themed pair of dunks, which honestly looks pretty wild if you ask me. The cracking on here is insane, but they're doing this whole Krampus theme on it, which is kind of dark. It's like the evil Santa or whatever. These are really not for me, not my thing. I don't like the look of them at all. I get the whole idea of like the cracked leather, and I do think it fits the theme well, but it's just, yeah, just not for me personally. This is pretty cool though. Nike just introduced the Boreas Tech Fleece coming for holiday season as well. So here you go, a little look at this. I guess it's a hoodie, some track pants, and maybe glasses as well. So it's got a built-in mask, which people really love. I think the fit on it looks pretty decent as well. Like, damn, this looks pretty dope. People love their tech fleeces, so thought I would mention this, and I do think that hood is pretty dope. This is actually pretty cool for Nike. I think this is something that people will probably eat up. These are the pants, a little bit more plain and simple, nothing too crazy going on over here, but yeah, this is going to be dropping this holiday season. If you're into tech fleeces, this could be a pretty cool cop. Man, Kyrie is doing it. He has just made special cowboy boots. So here you go. This is actually pretty dope. I'm not even gonna lie. It basically took what customizers have been doing for a little while now. This has actually become like a little popular thing. I think Awake New York did it with their promo stuff on a pair of the 5s, but here you go. This is like an actual shoe that is going to release. So there's a couple different colorways and this crazier option over here, all based off of like a sneaker silhouette. So it's kind of like a cowboy boot, but a sneaker at the same time. So they're showing these things off for New York Fashion Week, and they're probably going to get a release this fall season. We'll have to wait and see, but I just thought this is very, very interesting. Kyrie's having an absolute blast over at Anta. A little update on the Southpark Crocs. They have been delayed. I think they were supposed to drop like literally in a few days now, but yeah, October the 28th is the new release date. So a very, very big delay. That's crazy. That's like a month. But here you go. All of the different characters. We've already taken a look at this. So if you like any of them, I think the Kenny ones are actually pretty dope. But yeah, you've got all the different characters. You got Cartman, you've got Towley over here. You just got the general scene with the mountain backdrop, and you've got, I forget what the hell his name is, but yeah, October 28th if you're after any of them. Supreme has been accused of deleting multiple major news pages without warning. This is kind of causing outrage. So it says over here, in the past few months, 3 major Supreme related Instagram pages have been suddenly vanished. Supreme Community, Supreme Drops, and Supreme Hustle, all of which believe Supreme is personally behind the account removals. Now, here's some of the comments of people saying that this whole situation is F. They're saying it's crazy that Supreme is banning Supreme dedicated pages on Instagram. To be honest, I don't think Supreme would be where it is if it wasn't for pages like, then he tags a bunch of different ones. So Supreme is behind your page being taken down? Likely, yes. And just tons of comments basically saying that this is terrible and that Supreme wouldn't be where they were if it wasn't for pages like this. The rumor suggests that Supreme took action against these accounts in an attempt to regain control over their brand's name, image, and likeness. Supposedly, these pages hurt their ability to tell natural stories and launch items without prejudice. It's been a very long string of people saying negative stuff about Supreme. It's like they're all saying Supreme is dead and stuff like that. So like, how are they still talking about Supreme at this point? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I'm not a massive Supreme guy, so I'm not going to feel the weight of this as other people are, but I do think just from an outsider looking in, it does seem pretty stupid if Supreme was taking these pages down. That's like free marketing. They've built entire communities around your brand. Let that flourish. Like, that is a huge plus for Supreme. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me. And also, I use a lot of these Supreme pages to talk about different news pieces. So I do hope they get freed and they're back, because Drops by Jay, great page, always posts weekly little photos of everything, gives us the prices. So I definitely think this is really cool and this needs to to exist. Currently, we're getting 7-Eleven and Lawson Nikes next year. So this is an unofficial collaboration, but we got two big bubble Air Max 95s inspired by the stores, apparently. So we got a little mock-up over here of what they should look like. Definitely note that Nike is known for doing unofficial collaborations. Like, they'll sue the hell out of anybody who tries to use their trademarks or likeness, but they will freely make a colorway that is clearly inspired by something, but they won't exactly name it. It's the Nike loophole. But yeah, here we go. We got two different colorways. These are supposed to be dropping summer 2026. This is all we have, so nothing really much to go off of, but $210. We got the color code over here, and it could be an interesting drop. But speaking of 2026, this is what gets me to probably one of the most talked about topics. So obviously, you know, we're encroaching towards the end of the year. It's fall time, you know, right around the corner, and you know, we're heading into holiday season. And people are looking back on 2025 and being like, damn, this is the year for sneakers. There was so many insane drops. There's still a bunch more coming to round off the year. It is not even up for debate. 2025 has been the best year in sneakers in recent memory, and I'm sure for a lot of people it may be the best of all time. So what happens in 2026? Well, that's what a lot of people are saying. So we got different people and pages posting stuff about here's all the 2026 releases, because we do have a pretty decent idea about what's dropping next year. I mean, we can have a little scroll on here. Here's every Jordan retro dropping in 2026. Now, this whole list isn't complete. There's still some that are missing from here, some collaborations and stuff like that, like the Unions, Infrared 6s, Wolf Grey 5s, some 3s, some 4s. Like, I'm just gonna go very quickly through this. I'm not gonna name all of them because this is all like deep into the future, but here's a brief look at everything that's going to be dropping next year in terms of Jordans, which, as we know, you know, this year has been insane for retros and classics coming back and iconic shoes that nobody thought would ever re-release. So here's what the people are saying. Nice, I needed a break from buying almost 100 likes. Good, because my wallet was getting mollywopped in 2025. This person's not buying anything. 2025 was the year. Nothing upcoming excites me. So generally speaking, and this is just one comment section, I've seen this take been, you know, used over and over again. It's like 2026 is gonna feel like a desert compared to this year because there's so many retros. People would have spent a lot of money on picking up different stuff, and they are assuming that 2026 is just going to be a lot of people going back and maybe buying the stuff once they get enough money that they missed out on from 2025, and not necessarily buying new shoes in 2026. I mean, you can't argue with the fact that we had the Cave Stones drop, the Jordan 4s, they're sat, the 5s, the Fire Red 5s, they're sat. There's been a bunch of other ones. So this is the question. Are sneakers cooked next year? I mean, I feel like the hype was already kind of dying down. So I just wonder if the hype is still going to be there in 2026. You let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. But to round off, you know what we gotta do. We gotta do our little sneaky ranking. So every single Sunday, you know, I put up a post on Instagram. I asked you guys to let me know what you got on feet, and now I'm going to rate them. So I put this story up. Yep, I snapped up my ankle, which is terrible for someone who's supposed to be reviewing sneakers for a living. But this week we got an insane, I think this has to be a record of amount of people who have replied to this. Just endless amounts of pictures and people just saying what they got on feet. So let's get into this. Let's rate what you guys got on. As per usual, bunch of feet pics. What the hell is this? Gav got on some McDonald's. What? What the fucking world is that? They kind of look like Rick Owens. Bro has literally stolen Ronald's shoes. These things are crazy. Where did you find them? This has to get an absolute 1 for sure. These are pretty down bad, but I ain't gonna lie, 1 for them being pretty rare and pretty funny. Oh, that is quite nice. We got Critch with the Cave Stones and the white laces. I don't know why I never thought about that, but that looks real clean. Solid. That's real nice. I'm gonna give you an 8.5, especially for this is the first time I'm seeing Cave Stones with white laces. Tony with the Nigels on, solid pick. 8 out of 10. We got Zorain with a distinguished fit, man. He got on the hat, he got on the cardigan, the pants, and then the Rare Air. I believe the Rare Air 3s. Get a little zoom in. Yeah, these are the Rare Airs. Man, that's a dope fit. 8.5. Bro, what the hell? Chen has his own 3D printed Crocs. That is such a cheat code. Imagine just printing your own shoes. You just wear whatever the hell you want. And I mean, if you have a 3D printer and these things are actually comfortable, that's an instant W. You get like free house shoes forever. 7 out of 10. Mr. Sprints with the unions on. These things looking real clean. God, they're looking a little bit beat. 7 out of 10. We got Martin with the Vomero 5s. This is the Design by Japan. Solid pick. Gonna have to give you an 8. They're dope. And I actually like the socks with them. We got Alessandro with, I believe, the off-white Air Forces on. It's kind of hard to see with these pants. It kind of looks like you just wrapped a blanket around your waist. Why is the crotch basically at the ankles? 7 out of 10. Fire shoes. Pants very questionable. Doomhead, where the hell did you get these from? And why does it look like you're in a wrestling ring wearing them? This person really connected or something? Are they doing promo for the shoes? They look dope on foot though. Probably not with those joggers. That just looks like tight sweatpants that you're wearing with these Jordans. So I mean, the shoes are dope. I'm gonna give you a 7.5. Damn, George with probably, it might be one of the best fits that I've seen so far in this entire rating series. This is dope. He got the off-whites on, no idea what lot, but he's got like some really cool camo pants on, a dope hoodie. 9 out of 10. That's a solid fit. Olakith with the what in the world? They're like, it's pretty crazy that you're rocking them now. 4 out of 10. Right, we need like one more. Let's do one more. Kadir with the, I don't even know what these are. What are these? Grandpa house slippers? Man, there's so many shoes that are great options to wear around the house or to chill out in. These are not one of them. These look like you wear probably a bathrobe and then you sit on the edge of your bed to take your teeth out before you sleep. I gotta give these a 2. But there you have it. Again, we do this every single week. So if you want to partake, just follow me on Instagram and subscribe to the channel because I'm rating fits and sneakers every single Sunday. Thank you guys for coming through. Make sure to join me on Wednesday for the midweek re-up and of course next Sunday. And of course, if you want to catch another video, I'm gonna leave one up in the top left-hand corner. Check it out.